Fear is stopping us from living our best lives, and while I'm alive, I'm not going to let that happen. So today, I'm here to show you how to overcome your fears and take bold actions for your life. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to this channel. I am so happy you are joining me today, and I hope you are having an amazing day and you are doing well. So without further ado, let's get started. So a very important thing we need to do first things first is defining fear. So what is fear actually? Fear is a natural response. Fear is an emotion designed to protect us from something. But oftentimes, this fear actually keeps us from reaching our full potential in life. But this is when it starts to get bad. It's when you let your emotions take control over your life. It's when you let fear take control of your life. And these fears really go down to our past experiences. They can be related to our past traumas in life, and they're always correlated to something that is a threat to us. So whenever that threat comes to us, both physically and psychologically, our fear becomes an alert system. And it starts like making these noises like and like spinning around, just trying to alert us that that thing is dangerous. You should avoid that. You should, step away, step back, don't approach it, don't overcome it, don't do anything. And we become paralyzed. But that's when you realize fear is taking over your life, and we cannot let that happen. Before we dive into the steps to overcoming fear, I just want you to realize that fear is a normal thing, okay? So let's normalize being scared and having fear of something, okay? What I'm trying to say is that it is really normal to be scared, okay? Like the 5 emotions that the Inside Out movie explains we all have when we are little kids: joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. It's all very normal for us human beings to have emotions because at the end of the day, that is exactly what makes us human beings. So it's not that we are going to completely eliminate fear from our lives, okay? Because that is impossible. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about you learning how to manage fear. Let's imagine that we all eliminated our bad emotions. Now what? We're like, what, robots? Yeah, we're not going to do that. What makes us human beings is the exact fact that we have emotions. We express joy, we express sadness, we cry, we smile, we get angry sometimes, we get scared of things. That is what makes us human beings. Let me get my sip of water because I'm starting to get a little bit thirsty. So now we are going to step into the strategies to overcome fear, okay? So first things first, we need to name our fear. Name it to tame it. I don't care what name you give your fear. I don't care if it's called Stephanie. I don't care if it's called Anthony. Just give it a name, okay? Identifying the fear is the first step to overcoming the fear. You need to know, what is this fear? What is it called? So for me, for example, it's the fear of spiders, okay? The second step is to analyze the fear properly. This is basically you breaking down the fear into smaller, more manageable parts. Because oftentimes we see these fears as like big dragons with 7 heads spitting fire, like in New York City or something like that. And we see it as this enormous thing that we cannot face, and it's so hard to overcome because it's huge, But oftentimes, it's not as big as it seems. And most of the times, our fear is not the size of a dragon with 7 heads, it's actually the size of a cat. So let me give you a proper example. So let's say you are scared of failure. You are terrified of failing in life, okay? If you really try to break down this fear, sometimes it is correlated to the fact that you are scared of being judged. And of course, this can also be related to a lot of other things, but let's say that is related to judgment. So if you compare the two of them, and if you also try to break down the fear of judgment, this fear of judgment, it's probably related to your past traumas, to things that happened in the past. you know? But if you really try to understand why are you scared of being judged, you will correlate it to past experiences. Oh, maybe I'm scared of being judged because this happened in the past, because I was friends with this person and he or she was always like judging me and doing this and doing that. And you finally understand what this actually is and where it's coming from. So the next step to overcoming the fear is facing the fear gradually, okay? We're not going to throw ourselves in front of the fear and be like, let's fight. We are going to gradually overcome the fear. Don't see this as like a huge competition where you need to 100% throw yourself like out there and be like, boom, I'm going to do this like right now, all of it. No. Sometimes this is way worse than actually overcoming the fear gradually, okay? Because, I mean, it's your fear. You're scared of it. And sometimes these fears are like things we're terrified of, you know? So that's why we take baby steps, okay? So for example, I used to be really scared of talking to a camera, okay? Like when I started my first YouTube channel, because I had a YouTube channel before this one, I used to be scared of talking to a camera. And somehow I was a little bit awkward the first time I did it, okay? And I used to be really scared of like starting a whole YouTube channel, and like I was scared of people watching me, and I was like, oh my God, what are they going to think? They're going to think I'm cringe, that I'm weird, and da-da-da-da. And even though people talked a lot about me when I first had my YouTube channel, well, somehow that fear stopped me and I deleted everything and I completely stopped doing any videos for that channel, okay? So that was a time in my life where I let fear take control over the things I wanted to do and I loved to do. But I promised myself that I would come back to YouTube again in 2024. And I would start a whole new YouTube channel where I was going to finally face the fear of like being judged and scared talking to a camera and scared of like people talking about me and people having opinions and saying this and that. But I did it and I'm here and I'm talking to a camera and I'm talking to people. If people talk about me, let them talk. I couldn't care less. So right now, I didn't let that fear control my life because I always loved to do this. Because I always loved to talk to a camera, to create a community, to help people. And right now, I said to myself, I'm not going to let that past fear take control of the things I really want to do with my life, okay? So that's why I decided to do this. I had years, okay, years of preparing myself mentally to start building something, to create another YouTube channel. It's about baby steps and small steps. And this is really going to be the healthiest way you can actually overcome a fear. So the next step to overcoming a fear is visualizing success, okay? You are going to picture yourself overcoming that fear. It might sound like it really doesn't help, but trust me, it helps, okay? So for example, before I started this YouTube channel, and when I was talking about like preparing myself to start this YouTube channel and having like a process in between YouTube channel to prepare myself mentally and all that, I had a lot of times where I visualized myself talking to a camera comfortably, you know, with any issues, with any problems, with any fears of being like, oh, what if I move this way? And what if I say this and people think it's weird and this and that? No. In my head, when I was visualizing everything, I was comfortable speaking to a camera, okay? Just being who I am, talking the way I want to, saying the things I want to say, okay? I visualized everything. And today, I couldn't be more comfortable talking to a camera. Visualizing you overcoming the fear is really important. Trust me. Try to do it like as many times as you can and let me know how it works for you. So the next step to overcoming your fears is using affirmations, okay, and repeating them. Because affirmations can actually reshape your mindset. I had this moment where I was like in front of a huge spider. She was like this big. And I'm terrified of spiders. So I finally was trying to overcome my fear of spiders. I was constantly repeating in my head, I was about to kill the spider, you know? And I was constantly repeating in my head, like, you're strong, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I repeated it so much that it led me to take action to actually do it and overcome my fear. And so I was like, you can do it, you can do it. And I was like, boom. And it was done. So all I'm trying to say is that using affirmations is really, really good for when you are in the moment of overcoming your fears, because you repeat it so much, your brain starts to actually believe it. So up next, we have seeking support. Yes, overcoming your fears doesn't have to be a lonely road. Most of the times it can be a lonely road, but you can still ask for support. So talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to a mentor, a therapist, if you're doing therapy, like talk to someone you are comfortable talking to about your fears and asking for help, like, oh, how do you think I can overcome this fear? Can you help me? What can I do? And people will help you. So instead of like doing everything on your own, like, oh, I have to overcome this fear on my own because I have to be strong, sometimes you don't have to do it on your own. And it's okay to ask for help. So for the second part of this video, we will be talking about taking bold actions. So the first thing you need to do is set a clear goal. What is that bold action looking like? What do you want to do? So let's say you have the fear of public speaking. The bold action you're going to take is talking in front of 200 people at a local event, okay? Let's say it's possible for you, okay? And you are making it happen. So really make it happen. Let's say you started by talking to 20 people at the same event, okay? And then you already tried to talk in front of 50 people at the same event. And you already tried to talk in front of 100 people at that event, okay? So you are now at 200 people at the same event. Because like we talked before, you can start by these baby steps, okay? You started with 20, 50, and so on. For me, it was about starting this YouTube channel, okay? I was postponing it for such a long time. And there was this time where I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it, because if I don't do it now, I may regret it a lot later. So I defined a month where I was going to start my YouTube channel. And before that, I was already preparing myself with content to explore, content to record, what I was going to do, what was the name of my channel going to be. You know, I was already preparing all of those things. But I set up a date. I set up a specific month where I was going to start my YouTube channel. And that was March of 2024. I was not going to do it before. I was going to do it on March, okay? So I did it, and I started on the 1st of March of 2024, like I said I would do. And this brings me to my next step in taking bold actions, which is embracing failure as learning. And you're probably asking yourself, like, okay, I'm going to finally be able to overcome my fear, and I'm going to talk in front of these 200 people. And what if I fail? It's okay. You're winning. You realize you're still winning even when you're failing, because failure is one step closer to your success. Every failure in your life, whether it is inside of you overcoming your fear or inside of something else in your life, you know, relationships, all that, you are also winning. You need to realize that failure is not a bad thing. Let's say you were public speaking and you messed up like a few words, and you said like some words you're not supposed to say. It's okay. It's okay, because everyone makes mistakes, okay? Even those celebrities and famous people you admire, even those people make mistakes. There's not one human being on this earth that doesn't fail. Failure is good for you because it is something that makes you learn from that, okay? You learned from failure. Sometimes you learn on how not to do it again, you know? You failed in certain relationships you had, okay? something bad happened, it was a failure, that is going to make you one step closer to having actually good relationships and good friendships around you. And that is also going to help you not committing those failures again and not being close to those people again, committing the same mistakes, okay? So failure makes us grow. So what I want to talk about next is practicing resilience. And when I speak about resilience, I want you to reflect on your past successes. So when you're feeling discouraged, when you feel like you can't overcome this fear, it's too big, you can't do it, I'm really scared, and all this, all this negative mindset inside your head that's telling you you can't do it, I want you to reflect on the past successes you had in your life. Past things you overcame, fears you overcame in the past. You're here today. That means you overcame them. So that is proof for you to build resilience even more, okay? So let's say you were really scared of doing something in the past and you remember that you overcame it and today you're like pro at it. You don't even bother when you're doing it. You're not scared anymore. This is going to help you understand that it is possible for you to overcome a fear. And you did it in the past. So what is it stopping you for you to do it again right now? The fear is different, but you are the same person. And you are the same person that overcame a fear in the past. The only difference is the fear is different. This is also going to build confidence inside you because you're like, oh, I did that. I did that in the past and I'm here today. So I'm also strong enough to do this right now. So the last thing I want to talk about inside taking bold actions is staying committed. If this is a fear you really want to overcome, if this is something you really want to learn how to manage, you need to stay committed. You cannot quit, you cannot give up because yes, you're going to do it and yes, you're going to get out on the other hand, okay? So what you need to do is do something every day that is going to help you overcome that fear because consistency is key and you need to take action despite the fear you have, okay? This is something you need to do. You need to stay committed to it. You really need to take this seriously and be like, okay, I'm going to overcome this fear and I'm going to take action even though I'm scared because being scared is natural. But what is not good is when you let that fear control your life. You need to stay committed today because if you don't stay committed today, it's probably going to stop you from living the life you want, doing the things you always love to do, but you are so scared to do them. And when you are on your last few days on this earth, the regret you're going to feel is going to be way bigger than the fear you are feeling right now. Trust me. Do you want to live your life where you could have done so many things? You could have done so much, lived such an amazing life, but you didn't because you let fear take control. Think about it. Do you want to live a life like that? Reach your 80 years old and be like, oh, I have so many regrets inside me. I did nothing that I wanted. I had so many dreams. I had so many things I wanted to do. And you did nothing because you're too scared. And while those same things you love to do, but you're too scared to do them, could be memories when you're 80 years old, if you're too scared to do them and you let fear take control, they are just going to be possibilities. They're not going to be memories. They're going to be what ifs inside your head. Do you want to live your life like that? So I really encourage you to take that fear, grab it by the neck, okay? Give it a name. Analyze it very well and try to do something today, okay, gradually, to overcome that fear. Stay committed, be resilient with it, be persistent, okay? But don't ever give up because you are going to come out on the other hand. And like I overcame fears, like many people of the celebrity world overcame fears, like your friends and family overcame fears, you can do it as well. We have reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this video could help you in any possible way. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I noticed a lot of you are not yet subscribed. So What are you waiting for? Like this video, comment down below about your experiences on overcoming fears. I would like to know everything. Share this video with your friends, your family, everyone you want to share it with. And make sure you follow me on my Instagram as well. I have a lot of self-improvement, beauty, and fashion content. So if you're interested, make sure to give me a follow there. Until the next video, bye guys.